Hello again, Dezz Asante here from the Tech Muse Academy with another mixlessons.com video quick tip. This one comes from a member from the Gear Sluts forums once again. As you can probably tell by now, it's a place I like to hang out. This is from a member who goes by the name Sorax, and he says, "Hi, I'm a 17-year-old newbie in this wonderful and confusing world of music, and of course, I'm looking for advice. A little bit about myself and my situation. I have one entire year of freedom, no obligations, and I want to learn all I possibly can about music production and sound engineering. In short, whatever I need to transform the ideas in my mind into something real. I bought a MIDI keyboard and some books, and now I wonder if it's worth it to pay for a full-time course to maximize the learnings, as I will be redoing my GCSE next year and will not have much free time. So what do you guys think of these courses? Are they worth it?" And he goes on to list a couple of examples. "Any recommendations around London? Money should not be a problem as long as it does not go over 8,000 US dollars. Thanks for reading." Well, Sorax, I think, of course, in my opinion, education is always a good thing. That's where one should invest in first, as far as dollars and cents go. And of course, oddly enough, I happen to run a course that you might find interesting, but we'll talk about that later. There's a lot that can be gleaned if you have the time to search through the noise on places like YouTube and things of that nature. And so that's always a good place to start. And I'm sure that you've already been there and you've probably learned a few tricks of the trade already. The challenge with scouring the net and scouring YouTube for your education is that you don't necessarily have a point of direction. So that's where it's good to have some kind of structured course, whether that be in a physical location at a school or a college of some type or online. There's a lot of different opportunities online to get a structured course that gives you access to an instructor as well. And the idea there is that you'll have a point of direction. You'll have hopefully, if the course is well created and the instructor or instructors are good at what they do, you'll be able to sort of systematically walk through a learning process as opposed to trying to sort of paper mache a whole bunch of ideas together on your own through sources like YouTube. So as I did mention, I do have a course on mixing specifically, and most of you know it's at mixlessons.com. There's a bunch of free content that's available, so by all means feel free to check that out. But also at the Tech Muse Academy, I've compiled a list of resources along this very line of educational resources that you might find of benefit. In fact, I'm going to pull it up on the screen right now and show you what I'm talking about. So if you go to techmuseacademy.com /resources, and I'll post a link beneath the video. And it's actually, sorry, it's not resources, it's /music production courses hyphenated. But this is the page. I'll put a link in the description. And I've compiled what I consider to be some of the best educational programs that are online. They're available online so that you can work from home and at your own pace that I've seen. Of course, I've made mention of my own opportunities there, so feel free to have a look at that. But if you scroll down the list, one of the biggest challenges that we face in home recording and project studio environments is capturing good sounding drums. So my good buddy Mike has put together a form of an ebook on drum recording. And if you scroll down a little further, Joe Gilder, who runs homestudiocorner.com, also has a whole suite of very, very good, very well thought out tutorials as well, mostly in the form of video training series. I got a little sample here you can click on and have a look to get a feel for him and how he communicates. One of the best things that he's put together is the Production Club, and that is an in-depth training on music production in its entirety, from song idea in your head through arranging, pre-production, tracking, mixing, mastering, all the way through to the final product. So that's a fantastic place to begin. And he's got a bunch of these other tutorials that are on individual components of the music production process, understanding some of the tools and some of the techniques that are necessary, regardless of your genre, that you are going to need to have some understanding of in order to sort of compete with the big boys, so to speak. Below that, I've got some products, some training products by Graham Cochran, who runs Recording Revolution, recordingrevolution.com. And he also does some very, very good stuff that I highly recommend, at the very least, least having a look at, because you're bound to find something here that is just what the doctor ordered at the stage that you're at in your educational journey, and they are of a very high quality. The stuff that I promote on this page are of what I consider to be the highest quality standards, and that's very important to me. So by all means, check out techmusicacademy.com/music-production-courses. And again, I'll put the link in the description below the video that you can have a look here and check it out. And if you happen to stumble upon any other really high quality online training resources, by all means let me know so that I can add them to this list. Okay. Now Graham and Joe together actually have just recently started another sort of educational training style program that I'm really excited about. In fact, I'm a little envious. I wish I had a thought of it first, and it's called Dueling Mixes. And again, I'll leave a direct link to that in the description as well. And basically what this is, again, on the topic of mixing, which is the aspect of music production that most people find the most mysterious. So it's a good place to really, sink your teeth into. But what they do each month is they each take a session, the same session, and they each mix it independently on their own. And then they present their final mixes, both Joe's and Graham's, together in the forums. And as a member, you get to sort of have a listen to the two different styles, mixing styles between these two engineers. And it's a little bit of a sort of friendly competition as well. You can vote for whose mix you like best. But the really nice thing about it, apart from being able to sort of see or hear two different engineers' takes on the same session, is that you also get to download the multi-tracks from this session as well and mix it yourself. And you can feel free to upload and submit your own mix for critique and feedback as well. So you're getting the opportunity to hear two experienced engineers take on the same tracks. You'll also get to take your own stab at it and sort of compare your results with what these guys have been getting. And then there's the discussion forum that gives you the opportunity to chit chat with all of the other community members as well. Really, really good learning resource. It's a great way to develop your skills and your ear to be able to have a reference, something to compare your work to that is done by a competent engineer. So Dueling Mixes gets a very strong recommendation from me. And once again, I will add a link in the description that you can that will lead you directly there so you can check it out for yourself. So hopefully that helps. And until next time, enjoy and keep mixing. We'll see you then.